Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. I know I'm coming in with no particular, no sound, but it's 8 o'clock, 8:01. So I want to go on, hop on and holler at you. Gotta put my eyes on so I can make sure I can read the comments as they drop. How's everybody doing this evening, man? Welcome in. It's Wednesday night. It's Hump Day. Hump Day Wednesday. You know how that normally goes in the middle of the week. You know, we wishing it was Friday already. At least I know I am. I wish every day was Saturday morning when I wake up, you know. But unfortunately, life don't go like that. Got to go get that paycheck. So I got my boy Lemuel Stenson coming in. He probably going to need a little help. He old school cat, man. He can't figure it out. He like me. He probably struggling with the email right now. But when Lemuel come in, I'll allow Lemuel to introduce himself and kind of tell you who he is, what he do. But I'll give you a little preface about Lemuel Stenson, man. This cat was, when it comes to track in the city of Houston for Houston Independent School District, back when it meant something to be a HISD athlete, like he was the pinnacle. You know, he got to set the stage. He was a hurdler, not the biggest guy in the world either. But say, man, if you wanted to contend, you was gonna really have to learn to pick him up and put him down. Dealing with Lemuel, the guy was freaky fast. So Lemuel be coming here. He's a worthy coach. Proud of that, but that just proves that I don't mind slumming a little bit. See, I'll go mess with the cats out of Sunnyside. You know, every now and then we all slum. We all do something that's against, you know, our normal nature. I'll downgrade myself because he was a Texas Tech Red Raider as well. So, you know, I'll do that. I'll do that to deal with my boy. Now, great cat, man. Lemuel was a receiver coming out of high school, got a scholarship to play football and run track at Texas Tech. And, you know, when I got there in '87 in Lubbock and to Texas Tech, Lemuel was switched that offseason from receiver to defensive back. Why Lemuel was switched? Because Lemuel dropped a lot of balls. So they figured, you know what? This receiver thing, bro, just ain't working out too hard for you. So they switched him over. They switched Lemuel over to defensive back. And man, pretty much, hey, that set him up for life. Because, man, dude had freaky feet, great recovery speed because he was a track guy originally, and just his ability to cover receivers and do the things he was able to do on the collegiate level as well. That's him calling in there. Can you call him, please? I don't want to give his number out on here. Can you come with us? It just hopped out. It's going to pop back up. 1982 is the last four. Yeah, so I told you he was going to be having technical difficulties, man. Those old cats just can't generate and work the system that well. So Janae going to help him out. She going to help get his old ass in. And we're going to get him up and get him on. Hey, Miss Marshall, what's up, shit?
Just click on the link. I sent it to you from Janae Stenson.
Glad y'all hopped in. Hey, Tawana, I see you. She a worthy coat. That's why she got that green and gold. I guess they was gold. I don't know if they green and yellow, green and gold. I don't know what the hell Worthing was. I know they the coats. That's what he gave me, 32.Stenson at Gmail. It's simple. I'm just saying.
I got this.
Ma'am, this lady got the worst attitude in America.
32. Yeah. Okay, but it has kept. I said it.
Yeah. So at any rate,
Like 7:22.
What's that? Sorry, I'm late,
Yeah,
everyone.
came in, yes,
Okay, host.
at yahoo.com. I think I put Kevin Walker in the subject line.
Yeah, so as soon as we get Lemuel in here, the things that I want to discuss, of course, with Lemuel is his career. And I really want to know if him and Deion Sanders ever had a chance to mend their differences from his playing career, because him and Deion were not really cool with each other at all, period. See, Lemuel talked a lot of trash, and that's when Deion was in Atlanta with Andre Rison. And Andre and Lemuel didn't like each other for whatever reason, but it's cool because Lemuel was a DB and Andre Rison, of course, was a receiver. And Andre was a fairly decent NFL receiver, but Andre was honestly known more for dealing with Lisa Left Eye. That was Lisa's dude back in the day from the group TLC. So Andre really was more popular for that. Let's be real. He was a decent NFL receiver. But there was a game late or early November that Lemuel was talking trash when they were leading up to a game against the Atlanta Falcons. And hey, come that Sunday, Lemuel backed it up, man. Lemuel had 2 picks in that game. So, no, that's a great thing. And, you know, shit, hey, he a Texas Tech Red Raider. So, you know, if he talks shit, he going to back it up. So I do want to discuss that with him to see if him and Deion ever mend that broken fence that they were on. As well as, you know, just talk about the current fabric of the NFL and what's going on right now with John Gruden and those comments that the coach made. I'm kind of torn, honestly, because for those of you who know me, you know I am a Raiders fan. Man, I do. I love my Raiders, and you know, so I'm kind of torn with this situation. I hate that. I hate we're going through this right now. It's a major distraction. Team got off to a great start. Now we dropped our last 2 ball games because I mean I think when the players are going through something like this, of course with the head coach being the guy that made these comments, there was a clear distraction. There was a clear distraction leading into the last 2 ball games. Hey, I ain't making excuses. We grown men. We get paid to do a job. You got to work through the distractions. I mean, every ball club goes through something. Unfortunately, it was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders and John Gruden who made the comments he made. So I was talking to my buddy Sam Johnson this week about the situation with John Gruden and the comments that John made. And Sam's thing is, yeah, man, it was out of sorts. It was bad. But as Black people, why do we pick and choose what we want to jump behind when we want to jump behind it? I mean, man, honestly, I just think that's one of them things that I don't think it really grew major legs, and I don't think Coach Gruden was forced to resign until the comments came out about him calling the commissioner a faggot and all that stuff was included in the email. I'm like, so dude, what, as a grown-ass man who should really know better, like what would provoke you, or what sort of anger or rage were you in at that moment to think that that would even be cool to hit the send button? See, because for me personally, even though I'm single and I can hit whatever button I want and say whatever I want at the time I want to say it, man, I still really think about, it's not there. I still think about, you know, what I say before I even hit the send button. You know, I'm not gonna say certain things to a woman and let her have a receipt against my character. You know, I ain't gonna do it. But man, I just can't fathom, honestly, what would make John Gruden think saying those sort of things in that moment was okay. What would make him think that was okay? Now we getting Lemuel, and that goes. See, I almost did some locker room talk when he popped up on the screen.
What up, boy? What's going on with you?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
What's going on?
Hey, now, what's up? What's going on? Oh, nothing much. Just chilling. Just chilling.
You got a little reverb behind you in your sound, a little echo.
Oh,
Turn it down a little bit.
Let me see what I'm doing. Let me see what I'm doing. When you get old, you don't mess with these computers too much.
Yeah, you're an old dude, man. I told him that before you came on. I say, man, hey, he gonna have some trouble because he an old cat and he just can't get it together because he 50 plus.
Oh man, I think I'm with you. Raider fan. I heard a little bit. Raider
fan. What's going on, Lemuel Stenson?
Never much, man. Just chilling, trying to enjoy life. That's it.
Man, look, I spoke when I spoke to you earlier. I gave you some stuff that I did want you to talk about and share with the people. Just, man, talk to them pretty much about Lemuel Stenson, the little boy, and how your career through track led you to having this nice collegiate and NFL career. But I want you to talk about the track side of Lemuel Stenson for everybody.
Well, the track side of me it comes from my uncle, Lemuel Stenson. He's from Galveston, Ball. My dad's side of the family is from Galveston, and my mom's side of the family is from Missouri and the Houston area. So they migrated into Galveston, and that's where we turned up and met. But yeah, my uncle, Lemuel Stenson, and Vince Herville, those guys were some of the fastest guys I knew in Galveston. I used to go up the summer and I always run with those guys. I always wanted to be like my uncle. So he was a fast guy. So we just ran, did a lot, for us young. But when I was young, I started out in football because we didn't do track. We didn't have track because my mom, when my mom passed when I was 8 years old, and my grandmother put us in football. So we started out doing football, the defensive end, playing for Cardinals, Little League Cardinals, and the Rams over there in Southeast Little League. Going through the process, just doing that. So end up just getting in the track in the 7th grade, really running. We used to run in Galveston all the time. We used to run back and forth down the street, hoop fast and everything. But my uncles and everybody, we run together, cousins. So the speed thing came from them, from that side of the family and everything like that. But as far as football, it goes into league football with the coaches and then getting up in Woodson. I started out at running back, and I was a little guy. And I hit that hole and running back. Them dudes hit me so hard and had my hands all messed up and everything. So I look over at I look at the guy outside the receiver. I say, shoot, I think I want to go out there, coach. So I ended up playing receiver and did receiver all the way through college. I mean, all the way through high school. Led the team in my senior year with 33 catches for 1,000 yards. And like I say, that got me going football, and then track, being a state champion in the hurdles, 110 hurdles. So it's just a lot of little things that come your way. Neighborhood, community. Back then, you couldn't get in trouble. Without everybody whooping you all the way down to the house. So you just have to keep your mind straight.
Turn your sound down just a little bit more. Let me get still a little reverb. Just a little bit.
What about right there? That sounds good there?
That sounds better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you the neighborhood took care of me and made sure you stayed out of trouble. When you could get in trouble, the neighborhood made sure that you didn't get in trouble because they knew what kind of person you was and how things go. But you just got to be smart and be this. Hey, I tell everybody, in my neighborhood, there's a lot more faster guys than I was. Some of them just didn't do things they needed to do for us. Getting the grades, then being eligible and all that. They want to skip. I had cousins, were faster than me, went to school, and they, just couldn't get it going. But life made us change. I ended up going to Texas Tech University and playing receiver there for 3 years, and then moving to defensive back my last year, and I ended up getting drafted by the Bears. So that's kind of a little down run of what I went through.
Yeah, so now I didn't say this, but I'm gonna ask you the question. Because somebody said you got moved to DB because you couldn't catch a cold butt naked in Alaska.
Hey, you know what? I could catch like I could catch all day long. But I'm gonna tell you, I probably know who probably said that. You got a little midget on the phone from Tyrone Thurman. And you had now Rodney Blackshear came in to check, and when I moved defensive back, it was I tell you what, the year before it was a Rice University game. I flew past this dude, and he jumped up, and he looked like he was gonna intercept it, and the ball went over his hand and hit me in the chest and fell down. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. I said, throw the ball back to him. You better throw the ball back to him. Bitch, Joe Tyler raised up. I blew past. He got him back. Me and Wayne ran by him like it wasn't nothing. Man, we get behind the dude, wave his hand like this, ball hit me in the chest again. I could have won the game, Rice University. And then that next year, we got the NCAA was messing with us, but Spike Dykes moved me to. He said, "I want to see you at DB," and I like, "Nah, I played DB one time in high school. I mean, that's okay." And he said, "Now we're gonna move you back and forth, back and forth." So I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and ended up, we had a great receiver come in, Rodney Blackshear, probably one of the best receivers at Texas Tech. Him and Wayne Walker and Leonard Harrison, and those guys are Lord Hill, those guys. But I'm just saying, Rodney Blackshear was in behind us, and then Rodney Blackshear ended up being a good receiver at Texas Tech. So we went back to finish our degree together.
Yeah. No,
Third
when I
word
first got what you say? What you say?
I can't hear you.
You breaking up on me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Now I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was saying, Black, that was my roommate when I first got to Tech. Blackshear was my roommate. And then, man, there was so many dudes that couldn't get along when we came in as freshmen. So we ended up swapping around. And that's how I ended up with Anthony McDowell. I think Rodney ended up rooming in with one of the old linemen, Mark Snodgrass. So we ended up swapping all around to accommodate other people. But man, me and Rodney ain't never lost love, and we always he still say roomie, even we 50 plus years old. He be like, "What's up, roomie?" Every time I see him.
Hey, that's the same way me and Eric Everett is. Triple E. So we all the same, man. Everybody have fun. Oh, Black boy, he got that Hall of Fame. I say he went to the right school to get it. He went to the right school to get it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. I was concerned for you as much as I loved you, because let me tell you something you did that I don't even know if it was a purposeful thing or, man, I remember when all of us first came in, it was me, Sammy Walker, of course. It was a bunch of young DBs that came in that room. And the one thing about Lemuel Stenson and Eric Everett, man, you guys never, ever treated us like someone coming to take something from you. Man, it was like love from day one. When we would travel and go on the road, Merv and I were roommates on the road. And, Merv would call me his little brother. And, I guess I can say it now. Man, Merv never spent one night in the room whenever we was on the road. He was always gone. I'm like, this nigga ain't never made curfew, man. How the hell? I know they never in this room. Our room never even got checked.
I'm surprised Murray make me at the house at the daytime like now, because he always gone. Always gone.
Yeah.
The hammerhead,
man. But yeah, man, and man, I just appreciated Lemuel Stenson, man, and the love he showed us from day one when we walked on that campus. Always a friend, man, always trying to lift us up and encourage us. Even when I remember one time, I don't even remember what happened, but I think we had gotten in trouble for something, me and Anthony and some other guys, and you came like, and you might not even remember this. You was like, man, I don't know if Coach Dykes told you or whoever. You was like, man, y'all better straighten y'all ass up, yada yada. You know, not in no insulting manner, but man, hey, that ain't the lick, and I appreciated that, man. I appreciate it now more so than I probably did then. Like I probably at that point at 18 was like, who this motherfucker think he talking to?
Hey,
you know, that's probably how I felt.
But you know the reason why I did that, man, you know, because you know how we had that temper coming from Houston, and we had to prove something every time we step on the field or whatever we do. So I know back then I was hot-headed by my freshman year, sophomore year, and stuff like that. So when you guys came in, I know where y'all come. You knew you went to Worthing, went to Sterling, Jones, Yates, you know, Madison, and those schools like that. We all ball hard, and everybody competed against each other, but she had that fire. So, you know, I just had to make sure I look out for y'all and let y'all take care. I mean, I do that, man. Just like when JB was from when we went to Chicago. JB, Rope, and all those guys, I'm trying to take care of those guys, make sure they understand what's going on. Because what messes us up in life a lot of times is discipline in our mind and how we think when we're trying to do something. A lot of people don't, you know, you got to think a certain way and do certain things to make sure that you do the right thing. But you got to think three ways of when you do something. So, you know, if you don't, you mess up, and that's how I look at you guys. I say, man, I got to make sure these guys understand, because you know he's up at this primarily white up there, and you know we look back and these guys actually these white guys were really fun and cool. So some of them had their problems, some of them didn't, but the ones that was cool with us, you know, football team and outside and fraternities and stuff like that, yeah. But you know, I just didn't want y'all to get up there and then something happen and something go wrong. I just want to make sure y'all. Life is short, but you got to play your game when you're out there.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. And man, you brought up the climate in Lubbock at the time, and you know, basically, if you were an African American on campus, like all the black people knew each other that were Texas Tech affiliates. You know, because I mean, you know how we were at all the same parties, all the same events. So if you didn't know them, they clearly wasn't on campus. They didn't go to Texas Tech. You know, we all knew.
You know, how Eastside really didn't like us that much.
Yeah. So with that being said, though, man, what's going on with John Gruden right now? Are you surprised, Lemuel, by that, or what's your take?
Hey, you got to look at it. You got to look at it. I don't take nothing away from John Gruden coaching. I don't take nothing away from his experiment of knowledge of the game. Anything that he does on the field, he's pretty smart at what he do. He had the time and he put in the work to do it. But you got to look at it. Man, these owners, you know, say certain things like the Texas owner. Yeah, I mean, if they search back every one of these emails and a lot of these emails, they're gonna find the same thing. I mean, John Gruden may have changed his thought or process as it got along, because everybody, when it comes to sexuality and the male being, you know, gay and the woman being gay, and all that, everybody had to come through be comfortable, because now it's all in front of your face on TV. Now more people may be comfortable. Back then, I never had a problem with somebody being gay. I know they may be okay, but I mean, I'm not gonna trip on it. You know, you get other people that trip on it, and if you was taught differently, which in society nowadays, you know, my grandmother always raised me, never judge a man by the color of his skin. You judge him by how he treats you. And
the content.
Yeah, Martin Luther King said the content of the character. But my grandmother always said, always judge a man how he treats you. If he treats you right, you don't care what color he is. You make sure that you treat him the same way. But if somebody treats you bad, you understand how you gonna treat him. So that's how I was raised, and you know, that's how, you know, you had to learn down in Lubbock.
Yeah. So we're talking to former Chicago Bear and one-time Texas Tech Red Raider and Worthing coach Lemuel Stenson. So Lemuel lives here now in the Houston area. So I know Lemuel go back to Worthing, or you have gone back to Worthing. I don't know if you're currently doing it, and help out with that coaching staff sometimes and some of those kids. Man, how tough is that situation for those coaches in this area now, dealing with what these kids are dealing with, trying to coach them?
Yeah, man. I went back up a couple of years and help out with Coach Ellis and Coach Walls and Big D and Coach Hayes and those guys over there. And I went to help out, and we did what we can do. But you know, this day and time, it's so hard for those coaches. You know, at Worthing, you got 3 coaches. You got D-line coach, you got offense coordinator, and you got a head coach, which is the defense coordinator. And those guys are trying to take all those guys and work with them. But it's kind of hard when you got parents that come up and they kids playing on the field talking about now it's time for my baby to go home, or taking them out of practice. Back then, our parents let our coaches make sure that they raised. I mean, when y'all was over at Sterling, the coaches over there, they was just like the coaches at work. They was hard on you, tough on you, but they gave that tough love. You give these kids tough love.
But I think the only difference with our coaches at Sterling versus the ones at Worthing, our coaches at Sterling were used to winning. So, I mean, yeah, they were kind of. No, hold on.
That was coming up.
They were kind of the same. They were kind of the same, but we actually won at Sterling. Y'all took some ass whoopings over there in that green goal, bro.
Nah, when I was there, we didn't take no ass whoopings. We put it down. We just didn't get a chance to play y'all. I think we got a chance to play y'all. Y'all see who that number 84 was. I remember Vincent Taylor and Johnny Thomas. Johnny Thomas was a bad boy now. Johnny Thomas was a bad boy. Vince Taylor was good. But all the guys, So yeah, we did some. Byron Clay, we probably knocked Byron Clay around a little bit. He's tall and skinny, but it's been fun, man. It's been fun. Hey, but what's so funny though? And I knew you were gonna say y'all won more than us, which we know Worthing is a legendary school in the state in Houston.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you this. Hold on. I told some Worthing coach that I was gonna have you on the show tonight, and they was like, man, he better be glad his football game was up to par and his track game was nice, because that boy ain't got nothing on that golf course. I'm telling you what they said to me. They said, man, I'm telling you what they said to me. And Doc on here.
Hey, Doc. Hey, ask Doc how much money he lost last time we played. Me and Stan went down there and got that money from him. But tell them boys, hey, they know they golf off the chain.
Yeah, them boys told me. They say, man, he ain't got nothing on that course, man. Sam Johnson told me that too today.
Sam can't hit the ball 100 with his driver.
Sam say, man, I ate Lemuel ass up on that golf course. Then he gonna take me and get me drunk at Gringos, try to get some payback.
So when they talking that noise like they did this and did that, what happened for real, huh? They really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout the course of your career, I know you played against many great receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you played with some pretty talented guys on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah.
So, man, who was the most, in your opinion, guy that you played with that probably was the most underrated athlete or football player that people probably really don't even give his credit?
Ooh. I'm going to say Dennis Gentry. For the Bears.
Gentry safety, correct?
No, Dennis Gentry played slot receiver. You talking about slot receiver? Yeah, he played running back and slot receiver. He the first one. He the first one back in the day started scat back the rule in. Number 29 for the Bears. And he a little midget. He talk a lot of noise. He a little midget. But hey, when I say he get around and hit and do, he was one of the guys that I think that's a guy that was underrated. And then you got a guy like Larry Sanders. People don't remember Larry Sanders was the first fullback to be the number one, lead the league in catching and running out the backfield. So he's at
played fullback. A long time with the Cardinals.
Yeah, played a long time with the Cardinals and went and got a Super Bowl ring with the Patriots.
Yeah, I remember Big Larry. So let me ask you this: who is the toughest guy you've ever covered? That made
toughest
you say,
guy,
grown man.
I give you 2 guys, and I give these guys much respect. Jerry Rice for one. I mean, Jerry Rice is you wouldn't think Jerry would do the things he do on the field. You can hit him and tackle him. I covered him many times out of San Fran. I mean, when he's in San Fran, Craig will be messing with me because he beat me for a touchdown, like 62 yards. I failed, and he scored a touchdown. But the other guy is Sterling Sharp. People don't understand how
Sterling
good
Sharp.
that kid.
Because Doc said,
Doc said him. Tell Doc
yeah.
Floyd. Hey, we need to put him on a three-way around here and get his. That mother there. Hey, tell Doc he was good in his days.
He was good in his day. So here's what I remember too. I remember because again, you was like a big brother to me. I remember you and Dion and Andre Rison beefing in an early November game one year.
Yeah.
And I remember you getting a couple of picks. That game against Andre Rison.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. And then I'm gonna let you talk. Have you and Dion ever had the chance to mend those fences? Because man, he was pissed about that.
Oh yeah. Well, we mended the fences a while back when I went to Atlanta in 93, 94. And no, Dion, now what had happened, see, people don't understand the story, the whole story, and I'll run it real quick. That they said Deion Sanders said, Lemuel Stenson, what do you think about Deion Sanders? I said, I never see him. He'll DB like me. I play corner, he play corner. And they said, okay. I said, well, they said, what about Deion? They kept asking me. I said, listen, man, we got 5 receivers over there. We had Ron Mars, Wendell Davis, Tommy Waddle, Glenn Karlowski, and Anthony. Hey, those guys, they're gonna. Hey, he coming. They gonna catch the ball on him. So there'll be 5 catches they'll have on it. I have faith in my receivers. So I went to practice and went to a video study and everything. And then once I went to video study, come back, Tony Mellon said, "Hey, Lemuel," he said, "Stenson, you got a call." And I said, "What?" He said, "Lemonhead, come on, Lemonhead." That's my nickname, Lemonhead. He said, "You got a call." I said, "Okay." So I went to run into the call and seeing what was going on the call. I thought it was my grandmother. Something had happened at home. And it was Dion on the phone. He said, and he just, "Hey, what's up? You always," he just start talking bad and just everything. I say, "Who the f is this?" I'm like, I'm like, "Dang, who's this?" He said, "It's prime time, Deion Sanders." I said, "What?" So everybody in the locker room was laughing and stuff. And I said, he said, "Man, we gonna tell him." And Andre Rison, "Yeah, Lemuel Stenson." I said, "My name Lemuel, not no Lemuel." And then and Andre is a great receiver too. He's good receiver. And he said, he talked noise. So he said they gonna catch this on me. 34 kids going to the Hall of Fame on me and everything. And I said, man, he said something about Florida and Texas. So Florida, I'm from Texas. So he said, he's from Florida. I said, dog, we fit Florida and our back for Texas big as I don't know what. We ain't worried about Florida. And I boom, hung up the phone. So by the time game time came around, you had David Tate. It was cold Saturday practice. I think I strained my groin a tad, slipped on a piece of ice because we practiced on ice. We never practiced, we practiced in the snow. So slipped and tweaked my little groin. And then they came to town and I was wrapping it in the restroom on that Sunday. It was hurting. And then I just like, man, forget it. If I tear it, I'm going to tear it trying to cover Michael Haynes and things like that. Ended up covering Michael Haynes, broke down and got 2 interceptions. And here's history. He's talking noise, but I had to shut him up, just like my cousin say, they got to put up or shut up. But at that time, we was battling heads, knocking, and there's a little more to the story. But now we pretty good. I'm really excited about what he's doing over at Jackson State because I think, he's turning the whole game around. Dion was always a guy that turned things around and do things, and not to say that we didn't know each other. We just being competitors at the time. So things that he's doing now over there at Jackson State is just. They listen to that kid, man. He's really smart and got a lot of money to do what he want to do too. So he can help out and he got a lot of talk. Anytime you get on the commercial with Alabama's coach Nick Saban, Affleck and Nick moving like he's moving, it's something special.
Yeah. No, I had read that earlier because I remember the incident And I was like, man, I'm gonna ask him about this, man. If they ever mended those fences, if he ever had a chance to really talk about it, because again, like you say, it was just about being a competitor, and the competitive juices were flowing in the moment. But hey, once I say what I say as a competitor, like I ain't backing off my statement. I'm gonna
Yeah,
lock
no.
you up, and yeah, my dudes they thing. You're
Yeah.
supposed to support the guy in your own locker room.
Yeah. What I'm supposed to say?
So
Oh, no, Dion's gonna have a great game.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, we hate that we even got to show up today. And that's what I ask
Yeah.
guys all the time. Like, oh man, how coach gonna say? So tell me what is coach supposed to say?
Yeah.
When
Hey,
they were talking about the leading up to the Alabama Ole Miss game. So you interview Lane Kiffin, and Lane says we're going to do this, and yeah, we're going to execute our offense, and I just don't think that nobody can stop it. What is a head coach supposed to say?
hey,
That's
he's
what
supposed
always
to.
confuses me because
They
people will
gotta
get
stay with it.
upset.
They gotta keep. That's why you're a head coach. You gotta motivate your team. You gotta let them know. You gotta give them that thrive. And what you do on that field, a lot of people, that's how you got these, sign ups. You play the game. A lot of people play the game, play at certain levels, so you understand certain things. And a lot of people just, sit at the couch and I'll be looking at some. I go to some sports bars and I hear people talking about the game, and you like, man, you really don't know that safety's supposed to be on the top. At corner, let him go. He's supposed to let him go, and the receiver's supposed to ran a corner post. To it's a lot of things you see that these guys don't see, and you try to explain to them, but then sometimes you just don't. You just shut up talking because they don't understand.
So what's the thing you have going on? I noticed that y'all be out, with your cigars and tell me about that. Tell me what you have going on. Is that on Thursday nights? Is that a Thursday night thing you do for the
No,
game or
it's
what?
it's 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 every third Tuesday. That's third. My number was 32, so every third Tuesday. So Tuesday 2, 32. So
Yeah.
we're doing it through the summertime, where it's every Tuesday, and then when it hit around September, we was looking out for the parents and kids and stuff that they got to go pick up their kids and stuff like that, and football practice and all this other stuff. So we started doing it every third Tuesday. And the next one we're gonna have is October the 19th, and that's we'll be at Brew Wings off of County Road 59, and we just go out there and everybody sit back, smoke a cigar. We have we have a DJ out there. He come out there and he work on tips, so they throw in some tips and make sure he get all his little ends, and we sit down and have fun. It's a group of guys come from Sterling, Worthing, Yates, Old Jones. I'd say Old Jones because ain't no Jones no more. And
Yeah.
we have some guys
Oh, yeah.
across town from Forest Brook and Smiley. So, well, not Smiley, but went to Forest Brook and Smiley on that side of town. So you just want them to come out and have a
Yeah.
good time, enjoy yourself. It's just something for me to say, hey, let's get back and just have some fun, talk to the old fellas, have some fun. They play dominoes, they play cards. And like I said, every third Tuesday. It's on 19th this time, and we're going to have some fun. I have surgery the next day, so I can't have too much fun, but I have surgery on my left shoulder.
Yeah, man, that was actually the next thing I was going to ask you about is your health right now, man. How you doing? How you feeling? I know with a lot of former players, there's a lot of issues with CTE and
Yeah.
different things. I tell people all the time, man, like CTE is real.
Yeah.
Them lawsuits go for a reason.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of guys, man, that played during your era in the league, and even after Junior Seau and Andre Waters, to
Dave
be
Dewars.
exact, Dave Durson.
Yeah.
You got a lot
They
of
were
guys,
good.
man, taking their lives, and they've attributed that to the issues of CTE, man.
Yeah.
So how are you, man? Tell us how you feel.
I mean, you don't know what you have it, if you have it, what's the process. Sometimes I would say some words and I know the word I want to say, but don't get it out. So I may use a little bit more to do it. Sometimes light bothers me a lot. Headaches, I get pain everywhere, headaches, running head. So sometimes you lay down. I get up and I'll lay down in the room and just close and just put the pillow on my head and just close my eyes and just go to sleep sometimes because that's kind of migraines that you get and down your neck and down your back. So all the injuries, it plays along. But I think the most part people don't understand is that we're used to all the stuff that goes on with us. So it's kind of like you'll never know that we're hurting when we're
Yeah.
hurting.
Yeah.
Oh, something's going
Yeah.
on. I can stand up and my ankles feel like is that people punching needles in it, or my knees start popping. But people don't know that because you're so used to it. So you keep, in football, you remember how coach say we got to repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. So when you get in the game, if you hit tackle, when your body gets tired, everything's gonna take over. And that's the same thing that we do as athletes when we finish and we hurt, and our strength keep taking us over to do the same thing because we're used to it. So um, a lot of guys are, and it can happen at a young age. These kids are hitting and tackling. We have a youth football league, and you got teams hitting and tackling and doing all those type of things. So um, it's a little tough. It's a little tough, but we make it through it.
Yeah, Doc say you claim CTE when you getting your ass whooped on that golf course. You claim you having issues. Hey, I can't make these comments up, man.
Hey, hey, when I get on the phone, tell him I'm gonna text him about that ass movement. Tell him my $40 sound good too.
Yeah, man, we're talking to former Chicago Bear Lemuel Stenson. Lemuel Stenson was also a Texas Tech Red Raider, as well as a Worthing Code here in Houston, Texas, a state champion in the 110 100-meter hurdles.
Yeah,
they don't call it the 100, but I'm old school with the 100-meter hurdles. They 110.
I heard.
Yeah, Lemuel is a former state champion in the hurdles, and to me, the most amazing part about that is that Lemuel, how tall are you? No, in real life, not don't give us what you want to be. Give us what you are.
I always say that I'm 5'9", 03. I was measured at the combine 5'9", 03.
So
that's 5 feet 9 inches. Just 5'9".
We're talking about 5'9" brother winning the high hurdles in high school. Man, that's amazing in itself. But that also speaks to your athleticism and just the speed factor and the discipline. See, again, track is about mental discipline because track is the one sport that's about individualism. And that's the thing I used to tell my son from the time he was a kid running summer track. I told him, look, man, after he turned 9, I did not allow him anymore to get on any relays because that's all they think about is the relay. I'm like, no, bro, you're going to do this individually. You're going to learn that the only way you make it in life is based on what you do, not what nobody else do, not what no one else accomplished.
And can't blame nobody.
Track is one of those sports, man, that's sort of the great equalizer. It'll break your butt down and bring you back down to earth in a hurry when you get to thinking too high yourself.
Especially that 400-meter run. Track. We had hurdlers at Worthing though all day long. Our hurdlers start from Dennis Brantley all the way to down to me, and we went to state every year for 6 years in a row. So being a hurdler, it just help you. We wore the white tights. We hit the hurdles and go over them. I mean, we raced. I think Byron Clay was a competition of mine from y'all school, Sterling. Me and Byron went 1-2 all year in the 110s, and then I think in the 300s we met up in TSU relays for a big meeting. And Byron was me and Byron was the competition, going in there. We had everybody from Dallas and everything. So me, Byron, and we punished him a little bit. So I went 1 in both events in the 100s, and he went 2 in both. But sure, he always used to make sure I stay on my P's and Q's.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing, man. And Byron is another good dude, man. No matter when I see him or when we cross each other paths, man, it's nothing but fun.
He's
man. So you mentioned
truly. He's truly I'm an alpha man. So I'm 1906. He's truly a Kappa man because he think he pretty as hell.
No, Byron, yeah, that's B Clay, man. So you mentioned Little League football, man. Are you involved? Who did you have a son or somebody that was?
No, we have a league we started. We started this year over here in the Rocheron area. And it's teams all over the place. We doing the spring league is National Alliance Football League, and spring league are coming up, and we what we do is get teams that have uh, fields, practice fields, and stuff like that. And you start a league and let the kids spring up. It's the 12 and you. It's gonna be 12 and under, 10 and under, 8 and under, 6 and under, and then 5 and 4 play flag calling on the age group and all that other stuff. I decided to do it. I didn't think about it, but I decided with Coach Hayes and Harold Scott. All of us came together and said, we want to bring kids together, sort of like what you did over in the neighborhood over there where we grew up at. And because I think you're a 20-year vet off up in, and we're just trying to get teams to come together. I want to show the team. I want to show more of the professional part of the little league. I don't want to. I want to bring a team like come from Worthing to go play a team over in Katy. I want to go play a team over in Aldine or something like that, and bring it together and make it like a baby Pee Wee NFL that we're trying to do to get things together, because we don't even have fields. We got always coaches that use the fields and stuff like that. So try to create an environment for those guys, because when you look at it, it's a lot of young kids love playing football, and you want to teach them the basics of it and then change their mind on what they need to do. But yeah, we do the organization, and it started this year. We got 4 teams. We got some great guys off there, some hard heads, but they listen and they do what they need to do.
Yeah.
And, come next spring, we'll start. I think in January the 16th, we'll do the spring league, and we'll have teams come over and set up a schedule and go from there. So just doing it. I mean, I know the guys you put off in there, and guys that go to college and came from your organization. I mean, we talk all the time back, when y'all was playing and everything, coaching, and you did a good job, man. You did a good job. Everybody know. I say, hey, I ain't got to call nobody but K Walk. He tell me everything.
Let me ask you this: by jumping into that youth football world, and being a mentor, being a guy that's done it at every level. So who would you claim outside of the family circle, outside of uncles and mom or grandmother, who would you claim has played the largest or the biggest role in your life that made Lemuel Stenson the guy who he is, man? The wonderful person that Lemuel Stenson is. Who's responsible for that?
Coach Elliott. Coach Elliott.
Was that high school coach?
He got me when I got to the 7th grade, and he told me you can do it. I mean, run hurdles. I was slow at one time. I couldn't beat nobody running. Me and Speedy, we grew up together. We used to get 7 and 8. We used to be happy as I don't know what, because I beat him. I talk noise that week. He'll beat me. He'll talk noise that next week, and we just do it all the time. And Coach Elliott was the guy that kept us going even when we was in the summer, and Speedy had to go to Sterling, and I went to Worthing, and we continued to go all that time. Coach Elliott was the one that picked you up, take you to the track. We drove to Nebraska. I'm driving to Nebraska at 13, 14 years old behind the wheel. He over there asleep. I got about 15 guys in the back seat in the van, and we going up there for a track meet. So Coach Elliott, he's a mentor. He's a mentor. I talk to him like I used to throw little parties for him, and then everybody else, want to get started on it. So we all split up and doing it at different times. But don't see him as much, but we talk to him all the time. Doc knows Coach Elliott.
So I got a couple of guys, man. Both of them are Worthing guys, man. Say they want that information. You get it to me, and I think Sam played golf with you guys. Sam hang out with Doc as well. But I'll make sure you give me that information, and I'll make sure those guys get that information.
Okay, no problem.
I'll get it out. Yeah. I'll make sure they get it.
Okay.
I really didn't want to give it to Sam, man, because being a single man, when Sam's sister was, I tell you about that all.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, man. But now Sam is my boy. I love him like a brother. And the one thing that the commitment that Sam and I have made to each other, and I even talked to McDowell this week. like I call a bunch of old heads, man, that
Yeah.
went to tech with. We still
I
organize.
taught you well then. I taught you well.
Yeah, man. But the one thing me and Sam has vowed to each other, man, and that I'm taking it from Sam and passing it along, is that, man, we got so many people, bro, in our age group, Lemuel, that's leaving this earth, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just think that it's important. It's got to be important to us to reach out to each other. Say, hey, man, I don't want nothing. I'm just calling to check on you. I do it to AV. That's a Worthing guy, Anthony Valerie. You know, I call and say, man, I ain't want nothing, brother. I'm just calling to check and see if you was okay. Me
Yeah.
and Sam do it at least 2 or 3 times a week. Like, you know, man, because one thing you never get back is time.
Yeah.
You know, so I just want to make sure that these brothers that are here right now, that's grinding, man, they know for a fact that, man, hey, I love you, man. I ain't got nothing against nobody. I don't owe nobody nothing, and don't nobody owe me nothing.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true. And I do that all the time. I get on the phone. Like I talked to Richard Dent the other day. Rich talked for about 30. We talked about 30 minutes. You know, I just called him to ask him about Steve McMichael, and you know, that's his hard. I hope Steve McMichael get through the things he's getting through. But I know it's tough on him. But you know, I just call guys. I call them, and you know, like Black. Me and Black will hear them talk. I'll text him on Facebook, and I'll say something to him on Facebook. I just try to say something to everybody, and I may say, "What's up, dog? What's up, acting fool?" Most time, you hear me say something, I say already, and it just make it, you know, just let them know I'm making contact with them and staying in touch with them. Because, like you say, we're leaving so fast and people don't understand it and don't know. We're dying off left and right. Guys dying at 58 and 59 and 60. And you're looking over. So you got to keep yourself in shape, get up and walk around and do the things you need to do. So that's what I tell everybody. Hey, man, get up, walk around, move. If you're walking on the crutch, take the crutch, walk down the street on the crutch, turn around, come back. You get enough heart rate. So
yeah.
just,
So Anthony watching on the Facebook Live circuit. So he just said, hey, man, ask Stenson where my tennis shoes at. I ain't forgot.
tell them they still in love.
Man, heard that? He said they still in love. What? Why they would be in love, bro? I don't know, but he said they still in love. No, man, it was a pleasure to have you in here, man. Pleasure to talk to you. Like I say, man,
Thanks for having me.
For me, when I came in to Texas Tech and really got a chance, even being from the same neighborhood, man, I knew a bunch of guys you had played with, even in Little League with the Rams, with Ken Smith and a bunch of them guys way back then. And even from a high, did you have a chance to play with Milton Austin at Worthing?
Milton was a little bit ahead of us. They was like a little ahead of us.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we moved up to Boston, we played with a couple of guys on Boston when we was freshmen. But we just got up there, and I think I caught a pass from John Boy. He threw one out there, and I went and caught it and snatched it in with one hand and made him look good. But he let me know I was the first one. He was the first one to throw the pass to me. It made me good. So that's the only claim of fame on Boston I had.
Yeah. Because I want to say Milton Austin and Kirk Boston.
Milton Austin, Kirk Boston, you know, you got Tor Robinson, Renato Dawson. You got all these guys, man. Dwight White was a guy up there. You know, when I was coming back down, you got Keith Young. You know, everybody don't know that Keith Young is Vince Young's, but they probably do. Vince Young's uncle, and he was out back Smith, and who else? You know, man, there's a lot of guys, man. I mean, we got so much over here between Third and Worthing Jones and in this area, man. If we ever combine, we probably punish a whole lot of people.
Yeah, Black just chimed in. He said, "Who you with?
Who you with?" You know, hey, Black got that little boy. Hey, he all that game, ready to sign and everything. Little man gonna go to Texas Tech for real.
Yeah, man. For real, that Black man. Black good dude, man. Black a real good dude.
He's a great guy, man.
You know,
that's just like y'all, man. Y'all just like little brothers, man. I love y'all to death. I seen y'all grow. I watch you, and I like the way y'all you got your own mind doing what you want to do and how you want to do it, and you smart at what you need to, what you're doing, and it's just sometimes like black man, that kid need to be coaching somewhere,
Yeah,
at a
I
college
agree.
level. He got. I mean, he's really good. He's really excellent at what he's doing. He's very precise, and he's a great person. So and such yourself, like you said, like I told you, you had them kids and you worked them kids and did a great job in building organizations and doing the things you're doing. So I'm really proud of you guys. All the guys below me, Wayne Walker doing great in Waco. Tyrone Thurman doing what he's
Yeah,
doing up there. So all of us, we all came from a small little area, but you can count
yeah,
I got up there, it was less than 100 blacks at Texas Tech. When y'all got up
yeah,
there, that's when people start coming because they seen us up there. So
yeah, yeah.
it's,
No, it had expanded a little more, but still wasn't that many. Like it
yeah, it
is
wasn't
now.
that many. No, it wasn't that many. I tell you what, we
That,
go to it's
well, when
crazy
I
how
was
you go to mixes.
go
You remember
ahead.
how we used to go to the fraternity mixes and it'd be one or two guys, there. Hey man, what you pledging? Yeah, I don't know. Just one of y'all here.
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember I drove through a few years ago. Drove through campus. I had some nieces, some twins that were going there, and man, I almost thought I had turned on TSU campus. Man, it was so many blacks. I was like, oh,
Hey, if it was like that, in Weasdale, boy, man, woo.
oh
We
man.
already was in trouble.
Hey, look, I got in enough trouble with it not being like that, so I didn't need
Yeah.
for it to be like that. And man, that's the one thing I can honestly say. I was talking to a coworker of mine last week. That was really a basketball guy. I said, man, my biggest regret in life, and I don't have many. We got about 3 minutes left, but my biggest regret in life is not grabbing the bull by the horns and just running with it. See, I was pissed off young and thought I could shot call because Coach Dykes recruited me to come play safety.
Uh-huh.
And when I got there, man, I'm 6'1 and a half, 200 pounds, trying to play corner. My
Yeah.
big ass
Yeah.
was not a knew I wasn't a cornerback. But you
He
tried to
want
play me a corner because
he wants you to hit.
of
He
my
wants you to hit. He wants you to hit somebody.
and see, they had Nixon. Nixon was there. Merv was there.
Merv.
Donald Harris. See, Donald Harris came in with us.
Yeah.
And I
Donald,
like
remember
Donald
Donald started with me.
yeah, see, I don't know if I don't know what happened, but they, and then I look at the guys, man, that they were trying to make safeties and make corners. Like you transitioned over from the other side of the football perfect. I mean, because you were just a freak athlete with speed that could do it all. I mean, so, then you look on the other side, you had Double E over there. Like, it's like, man, this dude jump out the stadium. Like,
Hey.
not the gym, the stadium. Man, I
Hey,
remember one time.
people don't know that he won the dunk contest at the rec over all the basketball guys when he jumped up and did a 360 and slammed it. I still got that picture in my yearbook.
Yeah, no, man, that E was a freak athlete, and I tell people, I was like, man, look, when I got to Lubbock, both of the DBs that were the starting corners, not only were drafted, but actually played and had decent little careers in the league. Like these guys were freak athletes. I listen to all these other dudes talk about DBU and all of that. I'm like, man, if we go back and start naming names and pulling rosters like King Simmons and them guys who came before you,
Rolling Mitchell.
Man, exactly. Texas Tech was DBU before that was possible to say DBU.
Yeah. They don't know that because Roland went to Green Bay. I went to Chicago. Carl Carter went to the Cardinals. Eric Gentry went to Philadelphia. I went to Chicago, and King Simmons. I think he went up north. I think he went up to LA somewhere. I'm not sure, but King can play that golf. But a lot of guys understand it. DBs came out of Texas Tech back then.
Yeah, exactly. And even after then, because Sammy that came
Leonard
in,
Harris.
Sammy Walker. Yeah.
Sammy Walker, yeah. Hey, I miss it because those guys with Sammy Walker, Leonard Harrison was before him, Then you got Tracy Sauls. You
Yeah,
got Tracy Sauls got 10 interceptions when I left. So he playing ball out and he came to Chicago. You know, you got a lot of guys, man, that came out of Tech that's dominant guys.
yeah. Well, look, man, we can hit our hour mark, Lemuel, man. Again,
All right, buddy.
I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time.
No problem.
And this is like show number 14 for me in the podcast world. And honestly, I know you don't know, but man, my viewership has been crazy because I'm on 8 different platforms.
Oh, good.
Every week we get a demographic report. They tell you who's watching and where they're watching from. Well, from the first month, from my first 4 weeks, I had about a 17% viewership out of Germany. And I guess people in the military are watching. Now, as it is, I looked at that same demographic report. It's up to 33% out of Germany.
Oh, that's good.
So it's like 33% of my, and I'm getting like over 2,500 views a week on all the different platforms. So, I got like, my buddies and shit, they tell me, hey, man, look, just hang in there, keep it going, man. You're getting interesting guests. You're getting guys that people want to hear from.
Oh, man.
Keep doing what you're doing. See, I couldn't do crazy shows that I do when you're not on here because you're a man. So I couldn't talk about some of the stuff I normally would. See, I couldn't talk about some of the stuff I normally would. I'm gonna let you make it.
Don't bring that up, dog. Don't bring nothing. No, but I think you're doing a good job. I chime in on you a couple, a few times I'll chime in, I'll say something, you say what's up and everything like that. But I think you're doing a great job, man. I think this is something that, you never know, like doing the commentating or doing this here, but you'll be a hell of a commentator on doing some things, man. I like you have good views and talks about everything that you talk about and everything. So I think you're doing a good job, man. I like it. I chime in and see what you say about it. I'll give you a little few, and then I go give me something to eat, and then I go to sleep.
So in next week I got Mr. Gary Monroe coming on, everybody. He's very controversial. That's a Jack Yates High School guy running for school board. He's kind of all over the map with this conversation, meaning he's very versatile when it comes to a lot of things. So I'll have Gary Monroe on next week. And then the following week, man, I'm going to go get the Hall of Famers, man. I'm going to get Tyrone Thurman, one of the original Smurfs with Merv Scurlock, the original Hammer, and my boy Robert Black on all in 2 weeks. So I'm going to have Gary Monroe on next week. And then the following week, I'm going to have my Texas Tech buddies on, my alumni guys, and I might even drop old Mac in here with them because he already said he'll come on the show and talk as well. So, hey, man, thank you, bro.
No problem.
Keep doing what you do. I'm going to get at you because I'm going to get that information from you in regards to the Spring Football League so I can get it to these guys down here.
All right, no problem. Appreciate it. Hey, enjoy, have fun, man. Proud of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's already cut off. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. I know I'm coming in with no sound, but it's I don't want to hit nothing over here. Hit the wrong thing.